Welcome to Saturday Coffee Chat. What I'd like to talk about today, especially coming into the new year, the preparation of a new financial year, are the top tools that help me and helped my business operationally. Tools and software that just made my life easier, made my life better, and really streamlined processes. I'm gonna be telling you the name of the software and the tool. I'm gonna try to show a video here as well and explain in which cases or where in the company they really helped. So the first one, of course, is Google Suite. I think Google Suite, the emails, the drives, the spreadsheets, I don't even have Excel anymore on my computer. I worked on 100% Google, and the main ways that it helped, of course, email. I think they have a super powerful search tool on email, calendar integration. They integrate with most of the other tools that I use, but mostly the cloud folders, right? So I can share things with my team and with freelancers and people who are not in my organization. They don't have an email that belongs to me and my company. And even then, we find a really easy way to collaborate with everything. Documents, videos, photos, images, everything gets uploaded to our Google Drive, and that is like the hub of the company. I remember on my first job, it was such a pain, just like sharing spreadsheets. I would make adjustment on spreadsheets and I would email the spreadsheet with a password protection to someone else. They would do something, send me again, forgot to include the password, and then send a different email with the password on it. The whole thing made no sense. And just having a folder that people can, I think this is pretty obvious nowadays, like being able to host all the documents, have a single place that I send people, I give access and ask them to upload things in there so I can check on their work and I can check on all the documents of a single project inside of a folder. Creating this hub that connects everything in the company, it's key, and that's for sure my number one. Number two, pretty close, Slack. The first tool that I implemented when I joined my partners was Slack. Before that, I think they're using WhatsApp. We sell products to Brazilians and we work with a lot of Brazilians, and WhatsApp, it's huge in Brazil and South America and most of the world besides the US. The problem with WhatsApp is that you can create groups, but you can't create channels the same way that you do with Slack. You can save documents, we can reference back. The search tool is not as powerful. So Slack, if you are not familiar, is a communication tool. It's like a messaging tool, kind of like Microsoft Teams in the US. I think people here use mostly Teams or Slack, I guess. That's all that I've seen. And having the central hub that is also like our professional hub. We are all friends, right? Everybody who works with us, we have each other's numbers and WhatsApp and messages. And if we start side conversations, it just gets really confusing. What's personal, what's business? So to have this one tool that it's made for business communication, if we have a freelancer who's working with us, I add them to our Slack. So everybody's communicating inside of the same hub, sending documents, sending messages, and also really great to reference things back. I can look for history from day one when I started, and if I agreed on something with someone, if I can remember the terms of certain contracts, everything is on Slack. I just love the tool and keeps getting better and better and better. The automations, the additional things that you can do, task management. I mean, I just really love Slack. Third one, QuickBooks for accounting. I talked about this. I worked with a big enterprise like SAP ERP. I used to work for SAP, and they are very difficult to use. They are for big companies and P&Ls. If you're just starting, having a cloud and online software for your accounting is just key. I also think QuickBooks is pretty good with automations. It's pretty good with connecting with other tools, receiving everything automatically from your bank, categorizing the expenses, being able to pay things through QuickBooks, being able to actually receive cash if you want to. You'll pay a fee, but you can. Top notch. Fourth, Mercury Bank. Opening a bank account could not have been easier than what it was with Mercury. We fill out a few forms. I think in 3 minutes we have a bank account open, automations. I can also pay bills inside. The UI is so simple, so user-friendly. I can trace all my transactions from a single provider, from a single vendor, from a single client. The search tools are great. I can store documents. I can store W-2s. I can share the password with my 2 co-founders in a very easy way. We all have access. I can generate as many credit cards as I wanted to. And just to put into perspective of how fast things are evolving. 2 years ago, a big problem that I had in my company is that we had the bank account, we had QuickBooks, and then we have to had a separate account just to issue online credit cards for like all employees who needed credit cards and expensing things. They didn't have a credit card. I couldn't just generate an online card and give to people. With Mercury, you can. And you can have the online credit cards, you can have physical credit cards, you can have debit cards, you can have everything in a single hub. You don't really have a whole lot of credit with your credit card yet. I think credit cards are pretty new. So if you needed like $1 million in credit, you would have to go through a different place. But if you're like me, a small company, you don't need a whole lot of cash in advance. Highly, highly recommend Mercury Bank. Next one, Canva. I am not the design person in my company. I don't have the design eye. I don't have the aesthetics. I'm the numbers person. But the person who does handle the graphics and design and the images and the logos uses Canva every day. She's a witch in Canva. She's so good. But the tool is also really easy because I'm in there. There's collaboration. I can see, I can download, I can adventure myself, even knowing that I'm not good at it at all. For someone with my level of design skills, it's still helpful. So if you need like an email graphic, if you need a PDF, if you need to do anything that involves design, but you're not a graphic designer, try out Canva because it's just so easy to use. Next one, DocuSign for all the contracts. Like, I don't think I need to explain too much. Instead of like asking your clients and vendors to print, like who owns a printer nowadays? Like to print something, sign, scan it back and to send to you, DocuSign solves it all. So been using that a lot. If you need a digital mailbox or if you don't have an office location, you can rent a room that it's like a legal office location and you can do that through iPostal. So I have my mailbox, my digital mailbox, my physical mailbox, and the actual address of our company through iPostal. You will need this. You need to have an office location that is not your home for documents that you're filing. So if you move and your partners move, you have a location that mail keeps going to that same place. If you cannot afford an office, if you work from home like me, iPostal is what I've been using for office location, office address, and for digital mailboxes. This one is a big one. When I quit my job, I didn't have health insurance for about 6 months, so that's pretty responsible. I know that I could have purchased private health insurance myself and I never really go to the doctor, so I just postponed that. I know that it's very responsible, you shouldn't do it. If I actually needed to go to the hospital, I would be screwed, but I didn't have health insurance for about 6 months. And one of the reasons is, one, it's just very expensive to get health insurance privately, like for yourself. It's kind of confusing as well. So what we did, not only because of health insurance, but me and my partners became employees of our own company. We started earning a W-2 salary because we chose to file taxes as an S Corp instead of partnership. And in a separate moment, I can run through that and why, but it was to save on self-employment taxes. And by being an employee of my own company, I can establish a company health insurance plan for myself. And there is a very, very nice company called Thatch that does health insurance in a very unique way. They let you as a company put as much money as you want towards your employees' plans for anything. They can invest in HSA only, they can use for health insurance plans, they can use to do whatever they want health related, as long as you as the employer allows, like to put towards a gym membership, to put towards HSA eligible purchases and etc. So it's very flexible and it's also per state. So they work almost as a PEO, a professional employer organization, if you know what that is. I am in Minnesota and I can hire a Minnesota health insurance plan for myself, while my partners, if they wanted to in New York, can hire a New York plan, even though we are the only 3 employees of the company. Like we are really, really small, and we are able to do that instead of having to bring a super big health insurance traditional plan, which will absolutely cost more money. So that was kind of a pickle for me to not have health insurance and exactly how I would pay for it. And by being an employee of my company and by creating an employer health insurance plan, the company now pays for my health insurance, which is pre-tax, and yeah, things just worked out. I would look into that if you're in the same situation that I was. Last but not least, we run a lot of surveys, like lots of surveys with every single lead, every single potential customer that participates in a webinar or an event. We send them a survey, and once they buy our product, they also fill out a survey. Midway through the course, we keep sending surveys to see how are they liking it, if they're completing it, and just getting overall information about our customers. And what I used to do that is Typeform. I think Typeform is better than Google Forms. Google Forms is for free. Typeform, you need to pay for it. But the possibilities, the automations, the way that you can see the data, the way that you can also display the form, it's much more visually appealing than a Google form that is like this one long thing. So we've been using a lot of Typeform. And of course, Monday.com. I talked about Monday a few times. For project management, it has been such a great tool. For me personally, I think I explained in a different video that I like to write everything down and select the priority and what I've done, what I haven't done. When I mark done, the automation takes that one task and puts into a completed tasks bucket, and I can save documents, I can keep a record of everything that I've done. And for the company side of it, it's such a great project management tool, as what the name is, when we have so many stakeholders involved. Like the biggest example is we need lots of videos, and we are posting lots of content online. So we need someone to plan the copywriting and the script and create the post. We need the person filming to go in there, see what it is, film, upload a video, and then tag our video editor, say, hey, this video is ready for you to edit. The video editor needs to edit, say that, flip the status and say, hey, this is ready for approval. The person approving has to review, leaves comments, again, flips the status to needs editing review. The editor goes again. So it's like, you get it. It's a long process. It's something very simple. We need to record a video, but the amount of steps to get from point number A to point number B, it's just ridiculous. Like sometimes it really takes time and many people to get this one video to happen perfectly. And Monday.com has been a big ally of ours in this whole process organization. Monday is kind of funny because I really struggle to pay for them. Like they are kind of pricey, and there are other tools that resemble Monday. Like even Google Sheets now, they have a whole table with like the status and drop downs, and you can create formulas to make things to go from one place to the other. I just don't think it's that intuitive as Monday. You cannot connect as many things. Maybe you can, and I just don't know. It's very possible. I am not an expert on it, but yeah, we've been using Monday a lot as well. My idea here was to talk about the main tools that I use every day because they're such game changers. And guys, my company is small. We have 5 full-time employees and the rest of freelancers. Most people don't even work full-time. So for a company that is our size to be using at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe like 14 to 15 tools. It's insane. And we only use it because they really speed up our processes. They really make our company work faster and better. So imagine if you have a big company, or imagine if you are a small company and you think, we are too small, we don't need to use anything yet. I would say give it a shot. Most of those have a free trial, so you don't need to actually sign up for it. You don't have to spend money from the get-go, but I would bet money that your life will be better if you start using those tools for company operations. Of course, you need other things depending on your niche and what you're doing and who your customer is. But yeah, that's my advice for this Saturday coffee chat. Kind of late for coffee now, but hope to see you next time. Cheers.